Sometimes all it takes is one movie to remind me to take my collagen supplement and slather on some retinol, because I am too old for Delulu love stories aimed at youngsters. Are the overproduced songs, the heavy dose of inspiration from A Moment to Remember, and a bloody intense story with occasional emotional upheavals just a smokescreen to confuse you into thinking you're watching the rise of the newest Gen Z Bollywood star? Or is Sayyara a legit milestone in modern romance musicals? Going by the trailer, the director, and the lead's hairstyle, I walked into the theatre expecting Aashiqui 3. And if not exactly Aashiqui 3 or Rockstar, my bet was that the story would be about a struggling young musician who has lost his way, who would fall in love with a girl who was his complete opposite, and then his love would inspire him to achieve his dream of stardom, which would reach its peak in a scene where he would be on a stage holding a mic with one hand, wind blowing his hair Beyonce style, and he's singing some high emotional song in front of screaming fans, all the while battling some personal loss. Sadly, I had no one to bet against, and therefore I lost a good opportunity to make some money, because that is exactly what the story was. Now, how could I guess this? It's because we've seen this multiple times before in Mohit Suri productions, and in general it is a very common storyline in movies about reaching for stardom. But I will not dismiss it so early, because while the movie leans on a very familiar arc, its underlying conflict is something which is not very frequently talked about, which is how to navigate a relationship with someone who's losing their memory and may eventually end up forgetting you entirely. Of all the mental illnesses that we know about, Bollywood's favorite one has to be memory loss. And many decades back, Sadma has already set an impossible benchmark for any movie dealing with the malady made subsequently. Bringing down the bar by at least 10 levels, let us talk about the performance of the newcomers in context of their contemporaries. With movies like Nadania setting the bar so low, it is no surprise that Ahan Pandey is getting the sort of applause he is getting. Funnily, there are two things I noticed about movies that have newcomers who are related to some producer, director, famous actor. First thing is, they definitely get a line where they're bashing Nepo kids and how unfair the system is because of them. And second thing is, they all have a weird way of talking.
जान लगाते अपने आप में उन लोग को क्या मिलता है? क्या मिलता है उन लोग को?
Is it an accent? Is it an impediment? Their words just come out funny and it stands out. Same with the Shania Kapoor movie. I don't know how many of you watched it. Coming back to Ahan Pandey. He does seem to have taken some bit of training before appearing on screen, and he brings a certain energy to his performance, even when he's doing very cliche things like screaming into the void out of frustration at least 3 times. Chances are he will get better over the years and we will want to go and watch his movies. He plays Krish, and Krish gets a character arc. He goes from a hot-headed, volatile, struggling musician to a level-headed, dedicated, successful musician and lover boy. However, he also walks in and out of his band. He is clearly very jealous, and he creates a scene on whim, all of which unintentionally paint him as an unstable, unreliable man. Everything a woman should run away from, but also exactly the traits a person with low self-esteem and freshly out of a bad relationship would be swept away by. Lo and behold, Vani, with a lost musical mojo and nursing a broken heart, falls for this. A very beautiful Aneet Padda plays Vani, who is a journalist, and she is diagnosed with early onset of Alzheimer's. She is also a very talented poet, and no surprise here, because who do you think her movie dad is? The Rosesh Sarabhai. Her performance is restrained throughout, which is so much better than overacting any day. Her character is gloomy in the beginning of the movie, which is why maybe she looks so tired and expressionless. But she's also flatlining in scenes where she's making out with a new boyfriend. I really like the part where she completely loses her shit and threatens to stab Krish because she's so alive and awake over there. The chemistry between Vani and Krish is also not very moving. I don't even know how their relationship started because the guy was barely interested in her. One day she sees him lose his shit over his father, and then there's some sort of trauma bond going on, and she goes up and kisses him. Listen, girls, always let the guy approach you first. Funnily, I felt she showed more emotion in scenes with a nasty ex-boyfriend with the least boyfriendy name ever, Mahesh. Coming to the music, how can I forget the music? I'm not sure if the first 3 tracks were separate tracks or it was the same track played in 3 parts because it all sounded the same. You know, the Ashiki Arijit Singh type. The title track, of course, has more recall because of its presentation. I've seen some posts on IG where people are singing along and dancing in the theater, and I don't know how authentic those are. Sayyara is a love story that will appeal to the younger crowd who have not watched similar movies which have been released over the past decades. And it helps big time that the actors are somebody they can relate to and not a man and a woman in their 40s and 50s. And I'd much rather have the younger people blast the Sayyara soundtrack over songs like Baby Doll and Fevicol song You. All the college kids are going to watch this movie, so you can go and watch it too. Hi, I'm Jessica. I watch movies and I talk about movies on my channel. Subscribe for more. It literally takes a second. Click.